At Regency Corporate Headquarters, the mock and belittle an elderly black janitor, treating him as invisible, just another worker beneath their notice. They sneer at his old shoes, dismiss his greetings, and laugh at his presence. But what they don't know is that he's not just a janitor. He's the secret owner of the company. When the truth comes out, these arrogant executives will face the lesson of a lifetime. Stay tuned for this shocking twist. The morning sun filtered through the towering windows of Regency Corporate's headquarters in Stockholm, a sleek monolith of glass and steel overlooking the icy waters of Lake Mälaren. Executives in tailored suits darted through the lobby, their voices a hum of deals and deadlines. Among them stood Walter Henderson, a 63-year-old black janitor with a warm smile and a measured stride. His navy uniform was pressed sharp, his worn leather shoes gleaming despite their age. He pushed a mop across the marble floor, buckets sloshing softly, his quiet diligence a stark, calm contrast to the chaos around him. Darren Pierce, a 40-year-old VP with slick blonde hair and a smug grin, breezed past, his deputy Rachel Nielsen trailing close. Rachel, 36, with her platinum bob and designer heels, clutched a leather portfolio, her sharp eyes scanning emails. They rarely acknowledged Walter, except to mock him. Some people don't know when to retire, Darren muttered as he sidestepped Walter's mop, his tone dripping with disdain. Rachel chuckled, tossing her hair. Seriously, those shoes look older than my car. Walter paused, leaning on his mop, and offered a gentle, "Good morning." Darren smirked, ignoring him, but Rachel glanced back, her voice cold. "Just keep the floor spotless, all right? We don't need a lawsuit if someone slips." They strode off, laughing, oblivious to the truth. Walter wasn't just the janitor. He was Regency's owner and CEO. Decades ago, he'd risen from nothing. London council flats, odd jobs, a finance degree earned through night school grit, to build a property empire. 15 years back, he'd quietly bought Regency, a floundering Swedish tech firm, turning it into a powerhouse. Tired of boardroom egos, he'd stepped back, donning the janitor's uniform to watch his people up close. Now, Darren and Rachel's casual cruelty sparked a reckoning. It was time to pull the curtain. Walter's life had been a climb. Born to Jamaican parents in Brixton, he'd faced the world's sharp edges, slurs in schoolyards, doors slammed in his face. He'd fought through, turning a knack for numbers into a fortune, then pivoted to tech with Regency. The janitor role was his pulse check, raw, unfiltered. He'd seen loyalty in the mailroom, ambition in middle management, and lately, a festering arrogance at the top. Darren and Rachel were its poster children, privileged, dismissive, blind to the man they scorned. Their taunts had piled up. Darren's quota-hire jab in the break room, Rachel's slow hands quip over coffee. Walter logged every word, his pen mic humming in his pocket, his patience thinning. Yesterday, Darren had smirked, "He's just here to check a box," and Rachel had laughed. That was the line. Today, Walter moved. In the executive suite, Darren pitched a merger to the board, his voice smooth as he flashed slides. Rachel sat beside him, tapping notes, her smirk a constant. Walter knocked, rolling in his cleaning cart. Darren sighed, loud and theatrical. "Not now, old man. We're working." "Floor's sticky," Walter said mildly, mopping near the table. "Don't want you tripping." Rachel rolled her eyes. "Fine, but hurry up, you're in the way." Walter set the mop aside, pulled a chair, and sat. Darren's jaw tightened. "What the hell? Get out!" "I've got something to say," Walter said, his tone steady, commanding. Rachel laughed, sharp and incredulous. You don't belong here. Walter slid a folder from his uniform. Deeds, contracts, his name bold. Walter Henderson, CEO and sole proprietor. I've owned this place for 15 years, he said, leaning back. Bought it when it was bleeding cash. Turned it around. Been watching you ever since. The room went dead. Darren snatched the folder, scanning it, his face draining of color. This is bullshit. A fake. Call legal, Walter said. Or the board. They'll tell you. I've swept these floors to see who you are. You've failed the test. Rachel's hands shook, her portfolio slipping. You're the janitor. Was, Walter corrected. Still am when it suits me. Keeps me grounded. You too? You're floating on my dime, spitting on my shoes. Darren stood, voice rising. You've been playing us? Pretending? Learning, Walter said. Your bonuses, your titles, my money. Your respect? Nowhere. You're done. The reveal hit like a storm. Walter called an all-staff meeting that afternoon, stepping to the podium in his uniform, then shedding it for a tailored suit hidden backstage. Hundreds gaped as he spoke. I'm Walter Henderson, he said, voice deep. I've cleaned this building to know you. Some of you earn your keep, others don't. He fired Darren and Rachel on the spot. Publicly, no payout. The crowd buzzed, phones captured it. Bigotry's got no home here, he declared. Out. Security marched them away, Darren shouting curses, Rachel silent, her heels clicking a retreat. Walter wasn't finished. He'd recorded their venom, months of audio, crisp and damning. In a closed board session, he played it. Darren's quota sneer, Rachel's he's nothing laugh. The board blanched. Layoffs followed. 5 more execs, complicit in the culture, gone by week's end. Regency's rot was deep, but Walter cut clean. The aftermath rippled. Walter took the helm openly, promoting unsung heroes, cleaners, techs, the quiet ones who'd shown spine. He launched a diversity overhaul, hiring consultants to scour policies. Employees whispered about the mop man, some in awe, others uneasy. The press swarmed, janitor to juggernaut, but racism didn't vanish. Anonymous emails hissed slurs, old-timers grumbled about forced change. Darren and Rachel fought back. Darren sued, alleging deception. Rachel penned a scathing op-ed, calling Walter a manipulative tyrant. Both floundered. Courts laughed Darren out, and Rachel's peace drowned in backlash. Yet Walter saw glints. Darren's lawyer hinted at regret. Rachel's blog went quiet. Had they cracked? One night, a letter slid under his office door, unsigned, shaky script. I didn't see you. I'm sorry. Rachel's hand, he'd swear. He stared at it, torn. Real or a ploy? Darren vanished, rumor placing him in Oslo, licking wounds. Walter kept the letter, unanswered. A year on, Regency soared, profits up, a new vibe in the halls. Walter stood in the lobby, suit crisp, his old mop a relic in storage. He'd humbled giants, reshaped a culture, but the world stayed stubborn. Racism lingered, in sidelong looks, muttered jabs, the hum of privilege beyond his walls. He met with staff one evening, sharing his story. Brixton to boardroom, the why of his disguise. I wanted truth, he said. Found some, lost some too. They listened, some nodding, others shifting. Change was slow, messy. Darren surfaced online. A LinkedIn post, vague, about learning humility. Rachel took a low-key job in Malmo, her apology unconfirmed but whispered. Had they grown? Walter couldn't tell. He'd won a round, not the fight. The letter sat in his desk, a question mark. As Stockholm's lights twinkled, he smiled, ready always for the next step.